Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Mole Trap here, coming at you with another commentary from the round of 16 of the 2004 Ever OSL. This is Group D. This is Game 3. This is Referee. This is ZVP. This is me, Mole Trap. Nah, it doesn't ram. Never mind. Couldn't keep it going. There goes my freestyle rhyme career, but that's okay. We got a nice PVZ to play here. This is going to be really fun. This is probably the rarest matchup in this entire OSL because there's only 3 Protoss, and there's actually less Zergs than Terrans as well. So we don't get to see very many of these. We got to see, I guess we got to see several in Group A because there was some tiebreakers. So we got some extra ones because we had 2 Zergs and a Protoss in that group, if I remember correctly. Or was it 2 Terrans and a Zerg? Anyway, but yeah, so PVZ, fun to watch, and we got, this is Kingdom versus Oversky, if I didn't mention that before. Kingdom and Oversky both down a game in this series, so this is a pretty important game for both players. Of course, all games are important, but a lot is on the line. There's going to be a lot of pressure on each of these players in this game. They know that if they lose this game and go 0-2, they're pretty much out. They're pretty much out of this series. It's going to be very, very difficult, extremely unlikely mathematically for them to be able to advance to the round of 8 from this if they lose this game. So very, very important. Whoever does win this game is going to go to 1-1, and then they would still be in not the best position, though, because then they'll still have to kind of put everything on the line on the last game, the third game, to get a 2-1 record to get out of it. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. We got a, what is that, a forge? It's actually hard to see. The stats are covering up what was the building, but it looks like he's got a forge on the high ground here. I think. Maybe it's a gateway? No, that's a forge. Okay. Yeah, so this is really interesting. We got a forge on the high ground. This is a map where, you know, you have your low ground main, and then you have a ramp up to your high ground expansion, and he wants to take that high ground, so he's going to go ahead and put stuff on top of that ramp. And that's going to secure his ramp. Look, he's actually blocking the ramp with the cannons as well to make sure that it's a little bit difficult for units to get through. I'm pretty sure Zerglings could still squeeze through there and get a surround on those cannons, I guess. So it's a little bit odd that he's got that set up that way. So that, but I mean, it still makes sense that if he's going to try and run by funneling them in between the buildings, it does make it more difficult for more Zerglings to get by. You get more shots off as they're running through. So it still makes sense, but regardless, and he's actually, you know, he could put a gateway on one side of the cannon as well, make it a little bit more difficult. We'll see. But a really weird thing, because, you know, obviously in 2000 and I forget if it was 2006 or 2007, Bisu masterminded this Forged Fast Expand build that defeated the Zerg versus Protoss mastery that Savior had built up, right? And so it's kind of weird to see, like, okay, well, now we're seeing like the ancestors of the Bisu build at play here. There's Forge Fast Expand, which is not quite, you know, what how Bisu would have played it, and not the, you know, perfect exact counter to ZVP style at the time that Bisu came up with, basically. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, you know, the Bisu build is this specialized build where you get the Forge Fast Expand, and you protect, and just barely able to kind of protect through very efficient play in order to get your tech and your economy going without being punished, basically. And you know, this is not quite the same thing, although he is getting an expansion. But he's had to build 3 cannons before his gateway as well. And there's a lot of Zerglings running around the map, and just trying to scout. I think he kind of knows, okay, there's 3 cannons there, or at least 2 he knows of. Not going to be able to get in there, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing. He's getting his expansion up. And, you know, if this was modern-day Zerg, we would see him probably get a 3rd base if he knew about all of this stuff. Look at all this money. 3 cannons. I think that might have been a 4th cannon going up. Gateways just warping in now. If the gateways are just warping in now, there's no threat. There's 0 threat from the Protoss. They're stuck in their base until they can get at least a couple Zealots out. I mean, with this many Zerglings out on the map already, there's nothing that Kingdom can really do at the moment. So Zerg, you know, could be able to get a 3rd base very easily, but in this case, we do have him getting some tech. going, and this is interesting. He's really worried about a run by. He's got 2 probes on the ramp just to make sure that if anything happens, he's not going to get run by, because Zerglings as main would be really, really difficult to deal with. Maybe he's expecting a break. He doesn't know at all what the Zerg player is doing. He doesn't know what Oversky is doing at all. So for all he knows, there's some sort of Zergling all-in coming that he's not aware of, and he's actually getting a sunken colony. Okay. 2004, ladies and gentlemen. Very early in Sunken Colony, and not at... Wait, no, maybe he's getting a third base in the right side of the map. It looks like he's just planted it down, yeah. So, we're going to see a little bit of an economic game in a slower fashion than we would in 2020, probably. But it'll be fun to see how it goes either way, because, again, these guys are in the same place. So, they're going to be playing the same game here. We do have 3 Zealots, and then, that's kind of about... When you have 2 or 3 Zealots, is a good time to push out. We do see him doing that. Because now he's like, okay, well, you've had enough time to do what you want. You need to be under a little bit of threat by these Zealots. Otherwise, he's just going to drone up like crazy. And this is when we would probably see a Zerg player make a bunch of Zerglings or Sunken Colonies. And he's got them up already, though. It looks like a second Sunken Colony going down there as well. Cannon in the main... in preparation for a potential Mutalisk attack, which we do see a Spire coming from Oversky. He does have that third base up, and I believe it is a gas base too, so this is really interesting that we've got the Spire. We do have the Corsair is going to be on the way. I think the Stargate's just about to finish warping in just a moment. Boom, right on time. And so he'll have like 1 Corsair out about the time the Spire finishes, or a little after, but he's going to be a little bit behind. Kingdom is going to be behind on the air forces, theoretically. If I didn't actually see, but if Oversky saved up, yeah, it looks like he saved up Larva, so he was able to actually, as soon as the Spire popped, make several Mutalisks, and actually this could be a pretty decent threat against Kingdom's main. While he's got 2 cannons in, but, if 2 cannons versus several Mutalisks, 1 Corsair is going to be out in time, I think, to join the battle. There's the Corsair. Oh, if he loses that Corsair, that is not good. He needs to fall back to the other cannons, and he kind of dives back in. We're seeing a little bit of cat and mouse here, but who's the cat and who's the mouse? That's the question. 1 cannon has already been taken out before it finished warping in. This Corsair is taking a lot of damage, but it's doing significant damage. Looks like he's going to fall back, possibly wait for some Scourge to accompany those Mutalisks. Is he going to keep going with these Mutalisks, or is he going to switch up his strategy? We're looking around the map. We do not see a Hydralisk Den right now, so it looks like he's just going for Mutas and Econ, which is pretty... Oh, whoa, second Stargate going on. I don't know, maybe he scouted with a Corsair and saw that there was no Hydralisk Den, and he's like, alright, this is an air battle, I need to prepare for this. And a shield battery going up behind his wall as well. Very interesting play here. We do have some Scourge out here. Now, I mean, this is a crucial moment where Oversky has an opportunity where he has control of the air, and Kingdom has not made enough Corsairs to really wrest that control away from him right now. So this is a dangerous moment for Kingdom, and I think he knows that. I think that's maybe why we have that shield battery there, so he can recharge the shields of his injured Corsairs if need be, and put himself a little bit less risk, because once he gets like 6, or actually I would say maybe ideally like 8 Corsairs out there, he's getting +1 weapons for the Corsairs as well. Once he gets that amount of Corsairs out, and this Zealot just doesn't give a crap, just running right by, running into the main, doesn't get a good scout in though. That Mutalisk is able to polish it off, even though it got by the Sunkens before it was able to get a good scout in. So he still doesn't quite know what's going on, and he cannot afford to move out with his air army yet to see if there's a Hydralisk Den or what's going on the map. Still no Den. He is going for the air, and this I think is going to favor Kingdom, because I feel like Oversky might have missed a timing here where he could have gone in. Okay, well, this is it. Is he going to go try and go in right now? Does he have enough? The Scourger coming in. He's going to pick off 1 Corsair. No, that Corsair does get away. No, it doesn't. Second Scourge from the other pair catches up. Now there's a bunch of Mutalisks in here. He's killing tons of probes. Where are the other Corsairs? They're coming in here, but are there enough of them? He's only got 5 Corsairs. They have +1 weapons. Is not done yet. Oversky has the advantage in the air. There's no more Scourge to speak of, but he's spreading out his mutas beautifully. They're all getting hits on the Corsairs, and despite the fact that they're clumped up, and now he's killed off all the Corsairs. Despite the fact that he has mutas spread out, he was still able to hit the Corsairs and target fire them down. The Corsairs are dead, and I was just about to say, if he got to like 8 Corsairs, the timing was over, but right when he had 5, even pumping out of 2 Stargates. Oversky going in at the exact right moment and demolishing the Corsair count. And maybe he should have even waited a moment longer for those Corsairs to pop out of the Stargates and fight with the 2 extras as well, because now he has lost everything. He's lost all the cannons in his main. He's lost all of his Corsairs. He's lost a bunch of probes as well. Look at that. He's only got like 8 or 10 probes mining minerals. That is natural expansion. He's able to go after the Stargates with the Mutas while the Scourge chase away the Corsairs. He just ignores the Corsair popping out of the Stargate in order to kill off the other one. And this is a huge, huge, huge attack by Oversky. Those Corsairs are... Oh, he kills off one of the Corsairs that got a little too close. And the Mutas are very low, so he has to be a little bit worried here. But I think it doesn't matter, even if he loses all those Mutas right now to this last Corsair somehow, which, you know, could have fallen back to the shield battery or something like that. It looks like he's going to lose that. And this is just catastrophic for Kingdom. One of the Protoss hopes that a lot of people was, oh, and another squad of Mutas coming in from the other side. We might see GG just from seeing that, because there is no coming back from this situation. There's like a cannon over there that's just going to get killed off by glaive bounces. There we go. There's the GG. So much damage. And wow. I mean, it was kind of smart of him to say, okay, look, obviously my opponent is going for heavy air. I'm going to try and take control of the air battle, right? Because otherwise, it's really hard to fight mass Mutas with Dragoons, right? It just doesn't do enough. You need Storms or something like that, and it would have been too late to get Storms or any kind of other AoE. So you need the Corsairs, and so going for this two Stargates was a really good move. But and he, you know, I don't know what Kingdom could have done differently, to be honest with you. He got the Corsairs, he got the 2 Stargates, he got a bunch of cannons, knowing that he needed to wait until he got a high enough Corsair count, and Oversky just went in at just the perfect moment. Perfect moment, just diving in there with a bunch of Mutas. Had the Scourge to follow up, crucially, because the Scourge chased the Corsairs away or distract them a little bit, and, you know, if he'd waited 30 more seconds, then it would have been 7 + 1 Corsairs instead of 5 + 0 Corsairs. That's the difference that 30 seconds makes, and that is what Ehan timing is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful, 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 beautiful play. Anyway, so yeah. So Oversky is going to go to 1-1. Kingdom is going to go down to 0-2. Not a good situation for Kingdom at all. It looks like we are going to have another Protoss elimination from this group, but it's not over yet. We'll see. He basically needs well, he needs some sort of crazy situation where there's a 3-way tie at 1-2, the score of 1-2, right? So he needs, like, I don't know how it works. I don't have to try and figure out the scenario right now, but basically he needs a tiebreaker at 1-2, and he needs to win his 3rd game in order to get that 1-2 tie situation and then come back in the tiebreakers. So but, you know, it's kind of not even up to Kingdom at this point. It's up to the rest of the players and how their games play out as well, to see if he even has a chance of advancing. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. Pretty cool game. Very, very brilliantly played by Oversky. Just beautiful, beautiful Zerg versus Protoss. And, yeah, so that does it for game number 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching.